Hello. Whoa. And welcome into another episode of Farm to Fame. I am Kelsey Wingert. That is Peter Moylan. And that is our captain, our captain, Maddie Mass.
Yes, it is. Hey, Maddie.
How's everybody doing today?
I think it's important that we ask Maddie first because we missed him. Maddie, how you doing?
Yep.
It was like 30 minutes before you spoke last time, and I just spoke over you again. So, Maddie, how you doing?
Ooh.
You're muted, Maddie.
Oh, no, how anticlimactic.
Oh my
Terrible
God.
timing. Oh, it's so
Okay, ready?
embarrassing.
Maddie, how you doing?
I'm good.
Profound.
I wonder how many times I've spoken. I don't think many since I muted myself. But Kelsey said she had an echo at some point. I muted myself then.
That was a long time ago. So it's just been you and me, Kels, and I didn't even notice. That's how bad we are at
We
friends.
figured out where we going on dinner, though.
And I'm in the calendar, so that's kind of frightening.
I have to highlight it. I don't have the proper highlighter. This will be highlighted in pink. Do I have anything bad on here? You're in the calendar.
Okay, so what would happen if it wasn't pink? What are the color codes?
Pink means that it's like fun, friends, like football games, like stuff that's like fun, personal stuff. If it's highlighted in yellow, that means it's like a time that I have to be somewhere. Like if it's an appointment or like a lunch meeting or like a call that I have to be on. If it's in green, that means that it's work, it's paid work. And if it is in orange, that means that it's wedding stuff. And if it's in blue, it means that it's Farm to Fame specifically, or JOMBOY.
I'd like to hand in my resignation, please.
Why would you quit?
Because that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of people that are like that? That to the point where the color code they're like, how many people have you run into and it's like, oh my God, I do that as well.
I don't think I've ever run into anybody who has had, like, I've seen a lot of people with very organized planners and that are in handwritten planners. I think I take it a little bit over the top with the 5 different color highlighters that are involved.
Nah, you're fine. That's fine. I like to think that everything in my life has equal importance and doesn't need to be put into a different category. So everything is one. We are all one. It's all one. It's all love.
All right. Sick.
Okay.
How are you doing, Peter?
You know what?
Wait, did Maddie finish? Did we finish how you were doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Have you eaten dinner yet? I guess it's only 5.
No, I haven't eaten dinner. It's still early.
This is my dinner time, being a pensioner, but for Maddie being are you Gen Z or are you a millennial? What are you?
Yes.
I like to put everybody in categories, as I just stated before.
What am I?
I would need to know the years.
What color code would you put in everyone's? I'm a boomer, you're a millennial, and I think you're Gen Z. So what color code would you put us all in, girls?
I'd be in pink, duh.
Right.
Peter would be in yellow because you're always happy. And Maddie would be in green because he's so steady.
I am a Gen Z, you were right. But it's the first year of Gen Z.
OG Gen Z, yo.
We talk about baseball.
What? Have we got a podcast to do? What? The
Braves are the World Series champions.
Yeah, we already talked about that, right?
No.
Have we not?
No.
Oh, we just predicted it in the last one, didn't we? Oh.
Accurately.
This is my bottle from 2018.
Nice. This is your new ball from 2021.
Peter got me a baseball from the World Series. I almost cried.
And this is Maddie's ball from 2021 World Series. So
nice of Peter.
People helping people. This is what I call that. How's that cookie?
Very good.
Dang it. Is that like your what? Was that the last snack in your snack bag? Or was that a separate bag for just said cookie?
No, my best friend Rocky, I was sad earlier this week and Rocky knew that. So she sent me a bunch of Panera for lunch. and she sent me a cookie, so I'm eating it.
Panera.
Mhm.
What did you get? Was it like a? Please tell me that.
She ordered me mac and cheese, broccoli and cheddar soup, a turkey sandwich, a fruit cup, and a cookie.
Did she get you a bread bowl?
Mm-mm.
You don't eat bread.
But I got 2 French baguettes. I love bread. Boy, you're gonna see how much bread I eat at
I
dinner
can't
on
wait.
Friday if we're going to an Italian restaurant.
Listen, if you work out that day too, I am ready and I'm willing to just pay for as much as you can consume. I want to see this in action. I really want to see it in action because I've seen you lift and I've seen you, and I'm sure if you put your mind to it, and it's cheat day, so let's see it. I might have to take video of this and send it in for Maddie.
Maddie's flying down, aren't you?
Yeah, come on, Maddie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that didn't seem too convincing.
Hey, Bryce won the World Series.
World Series champs. World Series champs. We predicted it. It kind of happened the way that we exactly predicted it. Not to toot our own horn.
Truly, on multiple occasions.
But yeah, it was amazing and so un-Atlanta-like for them to win the way they did in Game 6.
Yeah. Max
I was
Fried.
fully expecting Max Fried was. He had his foot stepped on. I don't know how many people, I guess because they play on turf, that a lot of people would be wearing rubber spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I'm not sure if he does that in Atlanta on regular dirt. Playing left field on regular grass, you'd probably want to have regular spikes on. But man, to see what that looked like on the slow motion, I thought he was out. I thought he'd clipped the bag, and then there was all the confusion with what the actual play is, because once he's run past the base, you didn't have to tag him, and why did he touch the base, or why isn't he out? Because he missed the base, and it was just. But the fact that Max had his foot trampled and then had first and second none out and got out of it, I was like, this might be it, because that had the makings of being the most Atlanta inning in the history of Atlanta sports and turning into an absolute nightmare. And we saw what happened. 10-run first inning in the Game 5. That's all you need to know, right? That's what the makings of that look like. And Max Fried just said, no, let me just be Max Fried here for 1 second, and then I'll carry this through 6 innings. And thanks for coming.
And they talked about this on Talking Baseball, but like if you're watching the broadcast, when his foot got stepped on and he got out of that inning and he was walking off the field, like his face changed, like a switch just like flipped. You could visibly see his demeanor, just like, all right, game on, like, woo, love Max Fried.
And that was crazy. It's not because he hadn't been Max like the 2 starts before. You know, people were kind of searching for it was just a little bit off, and it was. And there was breakdowns. Eric O'Flaherty did a great breakdown on Twitter.
Great Twitter follow.
Shout out at Eric O'Flaherty, I think it is.
He really is a great Twitter follower.
At EOF34, I think it is. Maddie, you can put it in there, whatever it is, but he's absolutely a must follow. He broke down that his mechanics were a little quicker to the plate. And then there was everyone saying he's tipping, and it was like this, that, and the glove shake, and everyone knew. And Matty Diaz chirped in saying that he could call every pitch from the couch. And I'm like, Matty, yeah, you can see it from the couch because you can see the different view, my friend. You're not seeing it from the box. Like I just thought that was a bit of a silly point, but it is what it is. Like people can see things, other people can't see things. Like what makes Freddie Freeman the best hitter in the world is that he can go and he can look at someone pitching and he can go, okay, I've got it. I've got his tell. I can see what he's throwing. Like it's something that he sees, and he'll tell other guys, and other guys are just like, I don't see it, Freddie. I don't see what you see. And Freddie's like, you don't see that, like whatever it is. He just picks up on something, and it's like that's what he can pick up on during the at bat. And I'm like, you're the greatest here in the world, and there's a reason for it. I don't see what you're talking about, but great, Freddie. Thank you.
Love that for him.
So should we start again? Braves are world champs. They did it. The Moz is over.
What?
The curse, I guess.
Yeah. What did you call it?
The Moz, I guess that's what we call it in Australia.
The Moz is over, is correct, folks.
Just to touch on that a little bit, and not to flex, but I touched on this a lot during the parade when I spoke for 4.5 hours straight. And it was like, it's hard to make the playoffs and it's hard to win a World Series. And I know that there's been a lot of teams that have, like the Dodgers, that have had recent success, and the Braves did it for the longest time. But, you know, it's not a curse if you don't win since 1995. It's just really tough. And you have to have something special like what the Braves had this year or other teams have had in the past, where it's more than just putting the best 26 players on the field. There is a feeling, there's a chemistry, there's a mojo, whatever it is. It's the stuff that can't be measured that was the difference maker for this team. And it was someone different every night. And it was freaking Jock Peterson would have been the MVP of the division series. Rosario was the MVP of the division of the championship series, and Soler was the MVP of the World Series. Neither one of those guys were on the team before the trade deadline.
That's crazy. I haven't heard it worded. I mean, I haven't heard it laid out like that. That's crazy. That
tells you what needs to happen in order to win the World Series. You need to strike gold in 4 players at the trade deadline that somehow turn a team that can't even tread water above 500, and they turn into World Series champs, going through the Dodgers, the Astros, and the Brewers.
Was the parade amazing?
I couldn't see a lot of it. I was stuck at the desk. When I say stuck at the desk, I was working, so I got to see a lot of what everyone else was seeing on the TV, and I got to see them as they went past the set at the Battery. No one waved at me, which was kind of devastating. But
hate that.
I mean, I was fine. I didn't take it personally at all. I just sucked in my tears and moved on.
What are they? Not even the night shift guys? Is that what they're calling themselves? Night crew, night shift.
Yeah. So everybody gave them the night shift nickname, except for Major League Baseball, that called them the Big Three or something like that. On one graphic that I saw after, like, it's not the Big Three, you douchebags. It's 4 of them. And it's more than just that, you douchebags. Know more about the team that just won the World Series than just what you read in the paper. Okay. Dive deeper. That's why national media is losing to people like JOMBOY media.
Yeah. JOMBOY.
I mean, the Braves. Who in their right mind, besides Trevor Plouffe, who I'm giving Trevor all the credit in the world for that pick because it was an amazing pick. There is an asterisk alongside it, though, because he was picking that based on the team that he saw coming out of spring training, or not what was it. No. I'm not taking it away from it at all. What the team has achieved in between that pick, and that's what I'm saying. It is like been like this. They hit spring training with a full squad. It was like, all right, let's go. And then all of a sudden it was like, Soroka's not coming back. And you're like, huh? Oh, by the way, Max Fried's shit and he's got to go on the IL. Like, what? Oh, Freddie's 0 for 7 million to start the year. Ah, really? And then Acuna goes down. And then Azuna's good. And then it's like, somehow still they came back and won the World Series. It is the most incredible, like, just out of the stratosphere story. And I think that's just what makes it so cool. I think that's just the most unbelievable turnaround in a season that I can remember. And maybe the Nats as well. The Nats. Yeah.
I mean, the Braves and the Nats, I saw something that had, like, one team was 41-40 at the half and one team was 40-41 at the half. And both teams went on to win the World Series. And then I think there was another team recently who also didn't have like a good record that they talked about.
So how much
Pedro
emphasis?
Feliciano just died.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at on my phone. John Heyman just tweeted out Pedro.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Pedro Feliciano, dependable Mets reliever, rest in peace.
Dude, him and I would go toe to toe every year for the most appearances in the league.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
He's my age.
Oh, there's a press release that's out from the Mets. Wow. He was diagnosed with a rare genetic heart condition in 2013.
Oh, man.
Dang. That's really sad.
Sucks.
Yeah. Where were we? I'm sorry. I just got that notification.
No idea.
Was there anything else that you wanted to hit on with the World Series or parade or anything?
The parade, the concert afterward was cool. I couldn't see. I don't know what the total number was of people that were that participated, because there was kind of 2-in-1 parade.
Okay.
There was a funny meme going around, and this is what I was going to say before. Someone did a video, and if you remember the movie Speed, there's a scene where the madman is talking to Keanu Reeves, and he's like, "There's a bomb on the bus. If it drops below 50 miles an hour, the bomb explodes. What do you do? What do you do?" And Keanu Reeves goes, "I'd want to know what bus it was." And then there's a picture of the Braves bus flying past at 50 miles an hour. Because there was one point where they were getting on it. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, it was when there was some people that were trying to throw beers from like up above.
I saw AJ Mentor's catch off the back of the bus.
AJ Mentor made a sick catch. Shout out to him. Dansby made a nice catch.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was a good one too. So yeah, there was some fun moments. There was shout out to AJ that went hard. Went hard. I saw him afterwards, and he was. I think he went through a lot of phases during that day.
Oh, that guy can. Yeah, that guy can. He can rally.
He
That's
backed
for
it up
sure.
though. He's back out there doing cowboy stuff today. I saw him playing catch with someone at some concert. He's doing it. He's living it. So he should.
Yeah.
He just won the World Series, dude. Take 6 days and then get back into it.
Love that for him. Love AJ Mentor.
I love every one of those guys in that bullpen and on that team, to be honest with you, because
Love
they
it for Luke Jackson.
became a family this year. Honestly,
Yeah.
you could see how much everybody enjoyed each other's company, even when the cameras were off.
What was your favorite bullpen to be a part of?
Oh, that's a tough question. Actually, my two favorite bullpens. I have a photo of the 2010 guys up here, and I have a photo of the Kansas City bullpen down here. But there's been so many in between.
Yeah.
That one was awesome because it was just a bunch of absolute maniacs in the same team, and somehow we gelled, and we would have won the World Series despite injuries that year. I absolutely guarantee it. But we lost our closer, our third baseman, our other third baseman, and like it just went on and on and on.
Yeah.
We weren't able to rally. It happened too late.
Mm.
And that bullpen was 2 years after the greatest bullpen in Kansas City history. But that bullpen, I'm going to find the photo. Can you play some music, some elevator music real quick, Manny?
I was saying instead, Peter's looking for his picture. He's looking for his picture.
Okay, so here it is. This bunch of misfits right here.
Mm.
Kelvin Herrera, Joaquin Soria, Peter Moylan, Chin Min Wong,
Yes.
Chris Young, Brian Flynn, Matt Strahm, and Dylan G broke the record for consecutive scoreless innings from the Royals bullpen.
Wow.
That bunch, not Wade Davis, Kelvin Herrera, Luke Hochevar is his name. Goodness gracious, from Tennessee. Good guy. Not that bunch, but that bunch for those playing at home.
Who was your favorite teammate ever? And I'll flex on you. I'll flex for you because I do shows with Fanatics, and we do like virtual meet and greets with different athletes. And one of our shows was with Chipper Jones. And I asked Chipper Jones who his funniest teammate ever was. And he said, Peter Moylan.
You just said best teammate. You didn't say funniest.
I thought I said favorite.
I can name
or
funniest. Funniest is David Ross. I think David Ross is the funniest. He just
Really?
hit
I wouldn't guess him to have. I take him pretty seriously.
Yeah.
But the only time I ever met him was his final year with the Cubs. I interviewed him.
Right.
And then,
When he was moving into manager mode, then, well, he went to Dancing with the Stars mode first, and then he went to
Yeah.
manager mode. So
I guess
I
if he
mean-
went on Dancing in the Stars, I shouldn't be surprised. Like you have to have some kind of like personality to go.
right.
on.
And it's not just like he's a stand-up and he just sits in the front of the bus and tells jokes all day. It's just like his wittiness and he's quick,
Like Jake?
and it's like, yes.
Mm.
Yeah. He's always got something that just makes me just, and part of what made the appeal was that he was able to use humor to make sure people were aware that they weren't doing the right thing. So it was like, rather than just scream at people, he would use a joke, and then people would be like, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's, I'll pull my head in. Let's move on. So he was like the clubhouse cop. He was like the,
Yeah.
there was a few guys that did it.
Everybody liked him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could be hard on people when he had to be. But he was really funny as well.
It's probably
hilarious.
like your Freemans and how your Marcakuses and your McCanns were in the clubhouse. Oh, no.
Nick's not like Nick doesn't make people laugh.
Oh, yeah, no.
You mean from a leader standpoint? Yeah, sure.
I
sure,
just
sure,
mean
sure,
like
sure.
when Nick Markakis speaks, you listen because he doesn't speak. So when he like talks, you're like, what's he saying?
So the value of my words have just
The what?
The value of my words have become basically Dogecoin because
Hey, we are a crypto company.
pay us in Bitcoin if you want to.
I'm supposed to have 1,000 Moonblast bucks from the World Series, and I don't. And Trevor Plouffe is telling us all to whatever we got from that to like don't do anything with it, because he thinks in 10 years this world's going to be like run by people who fully understand crypto and are super rich, and that it's going to be worth like a ton of money. So I'm not touching it.
Well, we've just gone down a tangent, and I didn't think we were going to go down on a baseball podcast. Especially you and I, because I don't know what the hell cryptocurrency is.
I don't either.
But I'd like to be paid in Bitcoin because it seems to be worth a lot of money.
You know what else is worth a lot of money, but isn't like super, not like it's not terrible, but it's worth a lot? You're getting a deal. You know, it's like it's worth a lot more money than you're paying for it. Really? Do you know what it is?
Tell me.
Dugout mugs.
I knew you were going to say that. How did I know you were going to say that? Amazing. Is that a knob shot?
This is a knob shot. But Dugout Mugs is going to sell out of literally all of their products this holiday season. So
For sure.
I think this is my second favorite product. I like the wine glasses still first, but these are popular. So make sure you get your hands on them. They also got metal dugout mugs. Have you seen
Yeah,
those
they do.
yet? I haven't.
They look like the old Eastern bats. They're unbelievable.
Oh, they're cool. Yeah, I haven't seen what they look like yet. It's the only metal bat mug on the market. So if you're in search, I mean, if you have a baseball fan in your life and you want like a unique gift or something that they're not expecting, this would be a great option. But oh yeah, they say the brand new metal mugs have been a huge hit, and they didn't make enough because they didn't realize how popular these actually were going to be. So the demand is much higher for these. So if you want them, you need to grab it for yourself. You shouldn't wait because they're going to be gone. And you can use code JOMBOY for 30% off at dugoutmugs.com before they sell out. So that's discount code JOMBOY at dugoutmugs.com before they sell out. Dugout mugs. I got 3 dugout mugs over there. What's up? Need a wine glass. Worth a lot of money and more than what you're paying is how we got into that, how we dove right into that. Let's talk about the 2022 off season.
This doesn't look like a real number. Should I answer it?
Yeah. Is it your doctor?
Nope.
Hmm.
Yellow. Hello? 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 Got him. Boom. That's one for us. Fuck the robots. Yeah. All right. Let's get in the off season, shall we?
Name the top free agents: Correa, Freeman.
I cannot believe you just said that, and it just hit me. Freeman is a free agent.
I've been saying, I don't know where my iPad is. I've been saying that I think it's a 35% chance that Freeman stays in Atlanta.
Maddie, this is a serious reaction right now because I hadn't even thought about it until this point. I tweeted yesterday that it's amazing how quickly the offseason heats up when you win the World Series, and it's even quicker when you lose. But it's unbelievable how it's here now. Like you won, and it's like, well, 24 hours later, free agency starts, and it's on. Like, here we go. And it's amazing that people are just soldiering on as if there's not a CBA to deal with first. There's been not much mention of the fact that December 1st or whatever it is the day that if they don't have a deal done, then we're probably going to have a lockout, and we're probably going to have to deal with that moving forward. So every year it goes down to the wire. This year, it just seems like there's so many things that have to either be implemented or not be implemented, or it's so confusing as to what could happen in this one because there's so many different fights that need to be sorted out.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how it's gonna. And for me, the biggest one is salary and a minimum spend for teams. And I don't know how that helps anyone. I don't know how if it hurts anyone, but they're going to want to cap, and it's all just like, it's just going to be round and round the merry-go-round we go until February. But here's the thing, right? They fuck around with free agency and have done until late January, February, sometimes into the season. Then guys aren't even concerned about this date. Like, they are going to get themselves to the point where they're 100% ready and they need 30 at-bats to be game ready. That's it. They're not afraid of having this thing draw out until March. They're not afraid to have this thing draw out as long as they used to be able to scare guys with. Like, it doesn't phase us anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's April. Oh, we come with agreement March 26th. Okay, give guys 2 weeks. They'll be ready.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it's just going on, because they know that it's not going to be an issue until 6 months from now. That might be the most intelligent thing I've ever said.
Do you want to write about it? Like, write it down?
Nah.
So I'm looking at MLB Trade Rumors, an article where they ranked free agents. So this is their top 10.
Oh
Number
goodness.
1, Carlos Correa. Number 2, Corey Seager. Number 3, Freddie Freeman. Number 4, Chris Bryant. Number 5, Kevin Gausman. Go Tigers. Number 6, Marcus Semien. Number 7, Robbie Ray.
I would swap Marcus Semien and Chris Bryant right now. I would also swap Corey Seager and Freddie Freeman. I would also swap Freddie Freeman and Carlos Correa. But I'm biased.
So you would have Freddie Freeman 1.
Correct.
Carlos Correa 2.
Corey Seager 3. Semien 4.
I wasn't ready to jump.
Chris Bryant probably would not be in front of Semien. Who's after Semien?
Robbie Ray. And then Trevor Story. And then Max Scherzer. And then Nick Castellanos.
Did Chris Bryant do that much to his free agent stock in his time in San Francisco? Or am I delusional?
I feel like his time in San Francisco made him go up.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like there were more eyeballs on him, and he was playing pretty well for the Giants, who everybody was watching and paying attention to. And you heard, like, with the Cubs, they were dead.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, John Gray.
John Gray. Can we talk about that for a second? Can we talk about this for a second? Okay. So let me break down that situation. John Gray was available this trade deadline for trade, and a lot of people were inquiring. The Rockies were like, no, we're going to hold on to him. I think there was some maybe hint of extension talks between that time and the end of the season. At the very least, you think, you know what, we can't get a deal done. Let's throw out a qualifying offer at him and see what we can get back. They didn't even do that. They let him go to free agency without getting a single soul and or dollar for John Gray. That is the worst GMing I've ever seen in my few years of being around this game. It is, I've not seen one explanation as to what possibly could have been the reasoning behind it. No one has been able to give that to me. And until they do, I'm calling this the biggest joke in GMing this offseason so far.
I heard a lot that John Gray really enjoyed being in Denver and wanted to
Well,
be
of course
in
you
Denver.
did, bro. Why not?
Well, but as a pitcher, like, if you have a pitcher who's like, I want to be here, and he kind of reminds me, and not anything with like his pitch sequencing or his pitches or anything, but more so with like his workload. He kind of reminds me of like a Julio Teheran. Like, he's not this guy who's putting up all-star numbers every year, but he gives you respectable outings and gives you chances to win in the games that he
I don't think
pitches.
I've seen a pitcher have all-star numbers in Colorado. Has there been?
Yeah, but he wants to be there. as
Yeah,
a
and he
pitcher.
does well there as well.
So it's just like, it was shocking when,
Maybe he's
to your
asking for too
point.
much. Maybe he's just asking too. Maybe the extension talk started with, hey, we'll give you 5 years, 100. And he was like, I'll take 7 years, 300. Thanks.
what do you think he's going to get?
I do not know about money this free agency. I really don't. But I think there's guys that are getting 1 year 20 at the end of their career. There are guys that are getting 1 year 11. Drew Smiley.
Mhm.
I think it'd be somewhere in between that as a average per year. And I don't know how many years they'll go. I just do not know how to read the past and this free agency based on look at revenues of teams this year. And Liberty Media had just announced their revenues, and obviously I'm close to it, but they haven't announced record profits. And it's so, I feel like teams are going to have a lot of money to spend compared to what they thought they may have had. But I think they need to get through the drama of what's coming.
So give me your predictions on Freeman and Correa then. What you think they should get? Maybe not what you think.
I don't want to speak to the Freeman one because I'm too close to
Correa.
it. But Correa, man.
Because didn't the Astros offer 5 years, 160?
Yeah, but if he's not a $300 million player, then I don't know what is. If Lindor got 300 and Correa won't, when you break down Correa's years with the Astros, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the game, and he's a leader in that clubhouse too.
So, well, I don't know. Well, I think he is, and I think in that clubhouse and what they went through, I think they needed a Carlos Correa.
They needed somebody who was going to step up and be like, I don't care. I'll be the bad guy. Like,
I'd be interested to see how that Carlos Correa is received in other clubhouses.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it. I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know if that's in the past, because that's how I feel as a person that has watched it unfold. I feel like they've done, like, it's not their fault anymore. There's people that we should throw blame at, and it's probably not the players at this point. Altuve's proved that he's a better player than what he was.
Mm-hmm.
He's continued to be an unbelievable hitter both on the road and at home. Like, there's too many questions that have been answered now since that time for me to still hold that against him. But he said some douchebaggery things in the media too. So
he was like the worst, like he was painted the worst on that team, you know,
right. and he loved it. Like he wanted that.
He
was
it.
Almost like he was taking all that shit from everyone else.
Yeah.
And he was like, almost like the Hulk just got stronger for it. Like he was like, yeah, come at me. Like, I kind of respect it. Like, it's like, you gotta, at some point you gotta be like, he talked the talk, he walked the walk.
He wore it. He just wore it.
Exactly. Well done. Congratulations.
And I feel like, maybe if he does go to a new team, which he's expected to, maybe people are going to be hesitant at first and not know how they feel about him. But if he's that kind of teammate and he was willing to like take all the heat from everybody else, I feel like he'll eventually win them over.
I can't wait to see what if the personality changes, or if he kind of like, especially with whatever, like if say for instance he goes to the Yankees, right?
Matty,
what happens there?
He wins a few World Series.
Is he liked?
You receive him with open arms?
He has to prove it.
That he can win you over. You'll be hesitant at first, and if he proves himself as a teammate and on the field, you accept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that.
Okay, so did y'all see the article Matt Eddy put out? I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. Seiya, Seiya, Seiya. I
think it's Seiya.
So here's the thing. I didn't see the article, but I've faced him before.
Ooh.
In the WBC, maybe? WBC? One of those.
Okay.
He is pretty good. As far as hitters coming out of, like, Ohtani shocked the world with what he's become. I think he could do the same thing as from a hitter's standpoint.
Wow.
Strictly hitting. He's really good. And Ohtani has just, I feel like Ohtani has opened up people's eyes as to what getting a young talent in Japan, because a lot of the guys that have come over have been at the end of their stint in Japan, because there's that respect level that they want to play in their home country first. And I don't even know how it came to, did Ohtani just play so many years as a young kid that he's still so young-ish compared to the other guys?
Yeah, he started at like 16.
That's the craziest part, is if they start to get some of these guys, and I don't even know how it's going to work, but would you post $50 million for a kid that hasn't even pitched in the Japanese minor leagues yet? How does that because there's got to be compensation. That's the whole point, is the Japanese league doesn't want to suffer by having to have all their best players come to America, because a lot of these players have to play in the Japanese league because they don't want to dilute the Japanese league by sending all their players over here. So they've got to play a certain amount of years in the Japanese league before they become eligible to play over here.
Okay. Do you know how long that is?
6 years, I think, or
They
5
have to
years.
spend 6 years in that league. That's a long time.
Yeah.
What's the money like over there?
It's pretty good. Not like it is here. That's why they come over
Like, give
here.
me a percentage of how it ranks to what the money is here.
I
Is it like
don't.
50%?
I can just speak of what guys would get. Like Adam Jones got $7 million. That's one of the bigger contracts that I've heard of
In
from
one season?
for an American guy. Yeah, it's normally pitchers can get like, I've heard 700 to like 2 million a year, depending on who you are and what you do. I don't know what the local guys get paid. I just know what the foreigners get paid over there.
Yeah. Well, this article was saying that he could be the highest paid free agent outfielder this winter. He was on Japan's team in the Olympics. He's a gold medalist. It says that he's expected to be posted by his MPB team, meaning that MLB teams will have, Peter, you could speak to this more than I could, but MLB teams have 30 days to reach an agreement with him. And then a formal announcement from the team would be expected after the Japan series, which is November 15th. So what do you mean? So he's compared, are you serious, Maddie? This article, he's compared to Acuna and peak AJ Pollock. So he has that kind of, I mean, he has to, if they're saying he could be the highest paid free agent outfielder, but I'd imagine power, speed, hits for average.
I think he got a hit off me too. Can you look that up, Matty? I think he got a hit off me.
I can try this. So
Okay.
this article said one MLB scout labeled him as a five-tool guy, the best player in Japan over the past few years, comparing him to peak AJ Pollock, who hit 315, 367, 498 with 20 homers, 39 stolen bases, and a gold glove as a center fielder. So that's what they're comparing him to, with good hitting, speed, good glove.
Power.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's going to be an adjustment period. There's going to be an adjustment period, just like there was with Ohtani. And I don't know. I guess a lot of, besides Godzilla in New York and Ohtani, who's been the other successful Japanese hitters?
Ichiro?
Oh, how do I miss that?
One of two players I've ever been starstruck by, Bartolo Colon and Ichiro Suzuki.
What a mix. Holy cow. That's like if you would have plonked those two people in front of people that have never seen baseball and said, you know what? These two guys play the same sport. People would go, what?
I like panicked my first time around both of those guys. And then the Braves got Bartolo Colon. And I would love, he never spoke in English to me. I don't know like how good his English is, but every single game he would turn one of the Gatorade cups upside down in the dugout and smash his foot down on it as hard as he could and made this really loud, like boom. And he would try to see how many times in a game he could scare me by doing that. And then at the end of the game, he would hold up how many times he got me that game. And those were our only interactions ever. And I love it so much, really.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. We like never spoke besides like hello.
You don't need to speak. That's the language of just, I'm here to have a good time. And you look like I can scare you.
Yeah. I give off those vibes for sure. I was like freaking out the first time. And the first time I saw him was when he was with the Mets. And then when we got him, I was just hyped. But back to Suzuki, just 1,054 career games in Japan. He's / 309, 402, 552. He's won 3 Gold Glove awards in a 4-season span. He won them from 16 to 19. He's a 5-time All-Star in the MPB. He led the Central League in batting average he hit 335 and had an OBP 453 during the 2019 season. I want to go to find his baseball reference and see like his average every single year. So he's been playing since 2013.
Yeah, I did that too. He doesn't have a season below 300 since 2015.
Wow. Okay, so We'll keep an eye on him for sure. Where do we have any predictions or where not predictions? Where do we think he would fit best? Who needs him most?
Outfielder. Depends on how many the Braves lose, but everybody needs an outfielder if they're that good. It's just who's going to be. The Dodgers will probably go out and get
First
him.
come, first serve. Heard it here first. All 30 teams, first come, first serve. Godspeed. Can't wait to see him in the league, baby. Also, new rules are being tested in the fall league ahead
Yes,
of
they are.
the labor negotiations.
Would you like me to break it down for you?
Absolutely, please.
So there was the Keith Law article that came out, and it was perfect in its. And I'm actually going to read the first paragraph, okay?
Got it.
Because I think it was beautifully said by Keith.
Okay.
It kind of goes the direction that I thought this may go, if you know what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
As far as the implementation of the rules and without it being calibrated the right way. And it's kind of, okay, so Arizona, the title is Arizona Fall League Experiments Gone Awry. Major League Baseball plans to test out various ideas for speeding up games in the Arizona Fall League this year and have been, through a week of games, a complete flop. So he goes on to talk about a bunch of things. There was a game at Salt River Fields with the automatic strike zone, the variable pitch clock, and the ban on the shift. And the game was called after 7.5 innings because they ran out of pitching. They ran out of pitching because there was 22 walks. So what he's saying is that when there's a human umpire, you're inevitably going to get a little bit of leeway on each side.
Yeah.
Right. Up and down was pretty consistent, but left and right was just to the millimeter.
Yeah.
And guys were just taking the whole time. Like there was no point. And then the rule of the pitch clock, this is a development league, right?
Okay.
The rule of the pitch clock forced one of the umpires who, from what Keith was saying, umpires were giddy to be able to bring this rule into play, like calling guys out. One of the guys called out Spencer Torkelson on a strikeout and took a bat away from him because he didn't get in the box quick enough. Like it's a development league and we're implementing these rules and these kids are the best future of the baseball. These kids are the future of baseball.
The baseball.
You should go on the line and see if you can. So yeah, and it just seems counterintuitive to me to be doing that.
What a word.
Right?
Keep going.
To be doing that to these dudes that are supposed to be developing and turn into the best. Like he just took a bat away from one of the best kids in the world. So anyway,
yeah.
He wrote it's and one of the quotes he also said, which I had to rip from because it was beautiful. He said it's got an air of fixing something that wasn't broken. Was the way he described it, which is the way it seems to me.
Amen.
Right? Like we just have to pump the brakes a little bit on trying to just manipulate the get. Like I asked the question, I haven't had a response back from him, but I think on a lot of this comes back to like, we have to develop strike throwers. We've gone away from strike throwers and we've just gone for just boring blow doors, boring for the people watching, right?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like the game speed has taken preference over the fan experience.
Okay. That's fair.
Fair?
Yeah. You know what I say? Peter Moylan for commissioner, baby.
Man, I tell you, let's go. Let's go.
Love
I'd have to
that.
have some help though. I'd have to bring
It's
everyone with me.
Great hub for the pod. You should really
Yeah.
look into that.
I mean,
Podcast will blow up.
I would commit to still doing this pod while I was commissioner of baseball, just in case you guys are worried about that. I mean, this is my number one priority.
When we were in Denver and you had one too many drinks, you actually signed a lifetime contract with me to never leave me on the podcast. So if you break it, I'm going to come after you with my attorney.
Let's not talk about lifetimes. Okay. Let's just get through Friday night first, and then we can maybe negotiate something else.
Signed it, blood, dripped your blood.
So yeah, that was Keith Law's article on and he did talk about a couple of guys that have been turning some heads, but the article was great. And if you want to get a full breakdown, Keith Law knows as much about prospects and he's actually a fan of the strikes of the automatic strike zone, which most people would be, because I don't want a game to be, decided on a wrong call or a horrible strike call unless it means the Braves will win the World Series again, then I'll be happy as a pig in shit. But that would not just affect the other 29 teams. So, you know what I'm saying? Did you hear my throat then?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. That was kind of like from deep.
Did you read the article about the pre-tacked balls?
I did
I'm
not,
curious
but
to see how you feel about this. So,
I think it has to be done.
well, okay. So before the Arizona Fall League began, they told players that this was going to be happening, but they're using two different balls between the first half and the second half of the season. So over the first 3 weeks of the season, they used the standard issued baseballs from the minor league regular season, rubbed with the same mud that they always use. And
Right.
then they switched over to a baseball that comes with sticky substances already applied.
It's not even going to be a competition. The guys are going to want the sticky substance stuff.
Got it. Okay, so that's another thing they're implementing. How quickly do you think we would see that go from the Arizona Fall League to MLB?
Next year.
Okay.
That'll be part of the collective bargaining agreement that the one side's going to argue for or against. I don't know who's going to argue for it yet, but I mean, it's just going to be one of the subjects that becomes an arguing point.
Yeah.
One of the 30 that both players and MLB know are going to be better for the game, but they just want to bargain. And I don't blame them, because that's all they have to bargain with, is what they want and what they don't want. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Interesting. Can't wait. Maddie, did I miss anything in that segment about the new rules that you want to hit on?
No, I think that's it.
Man of a few words right there.
He's
Matty Mass.
locked and
I'm
loaded.
trying to find where you faced Suzuki. I can't find it. Oh, wait, I think I did now.
All you had to do was talk.
Looks like he grounded out.
Did he?
Grounded out 5-3.
Oh, there's more at bats.
That makes sense.
No, I think that's the only at bat.
That would make sense. Someone got a hit off me that game. Who did get a hit off me that game? Someone got a hit off me that game. But I picked someone off too.
So your first batter, Hideto Asamora, singled.
Yep. That's when I was like, shit.
Got out of that inning, and then
Yeah. Picked him off.
Azawa singled as well in the next inning. Kensuke Kondo walked, and then to end the bottom of the sixth, Seiya Suzuki grounds out.
5-3.
This was on November 11th, 2019 in the sixth inning.
Oh my gosh, it's almost your anniversary. What? I wonder if he will sign with the team on the anniversary, because that's coming up real soon.
I'm sure that's factoring into his decision right now.
If he hears this, for sure. And I'm sure he will.
I'll pass it on to him.
So
Yeah.
those are the new rules that are being tested in the Arizona Fall League. To get into the Arizona Fall League storylines that we've kept you guys up with this year, if you have been on Twitter at all, or you follow us on Twitter, you know that Nelson Velasquez is like going off. He's the Cubs' number 29 prospect. He leads the league in runs, hits, homers, batting average, and OPS. The Blue Jays' number one, Gabriel Moreno, missed the first 3 weeks of fall league and still leads the league in doubles. He has 8 in 13 games. He's hitting .373 and a 1 OPS. Yeah. Okay. Bryson Stott for the Phillies, Peter. He's their number 2 prospect. He's a shortstop. He has 21 RBI. I wonder in how many games that is, while hitting .333. Owen White, the Rangers' number 29 prospect,
Whitey.
has been dominating. What did he do his last outing?
He did it.
Yeah,
He sure did.
4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earning. He had 4 walks. Boo, 5K, 74 pitches. Overall in the season, 140 ERA and 19 1/3 innings pitched, Peter. There's a few pitchers who are done with the Arizona Fall League. So Slade Sissoni, Diamondbacks number 7, 240 ERA and 15 innings pitched. Love that for Jake Snakes. Hans Kraus, Phillies number 4, 24
Nice.
Ks, led the league, 506 ERA. Not great. And Mackenzie Gore, not great. Really not great. 6.35 ERA in 3 games, 11 1/3 innings pitched. He had only 8 strikeouts in 3 games, 6 walks. I mean, this is a guy going into the 21 season, he was the number 6 overall prospect in all of baseball and was expected to debut in the big leagues. And that was not a good showing for him at the Arizona Fall League.
Is he hurt?
He only started 12 games in the minors this year. So I do believe he had some injury in the beginning of the year. Let me see.
Tough because the Padres also, CJ Abrams was there, and we've talked about that every week. That was supposed to be a big deal. He still hasn't debuted. He has a shoulder injury. So both Mackenzie Gore and CJ Abrams, it's both not great for the Padres.
Is Abrams doing baseball activities or is he just there?
I think he's doing baseball activities.
Well, that would be the reason why he's there then.
No, Mackenzie Gore, though, no good the whole year. I mean, 3.93 ERA in 12 games.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there was an injury at some point.
That sounds like a off-season to work his tail off, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of bounce back year he can have. But maybe COVID got him. Not the disease, but the 2020 COVID season. Like that's another thing that guys have to. It was different for a lot of people.
Yeah. Dominican Winter League, going from the Arizona Fall League, folks. Albert Pujols, but he's not playing that well. But it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch him not doing well. I just love Albert. Peter, talk.
That might have to be our first road trip, if I'm honest. I think we should do a 2-week magical mystery tour where we go from the Arizona Fall League to the Dominican Winter League and back.
Let's go. Let's
go.
rack up those Delta miles.
Correct. We'll go see a couple of games while we're there, but we're mainly there for vacation.
Love that.
But we can write it off. I'm in.
Writing it off. That's good. Okay, that's a plan. So Ronnie Mauricio, shortstop, number 3 prospect, really good at baseball. You need to know his name. He is leading an average, 394, slugging, 636, and has a 1. OPS, 1.030. I still don't know how to say it, 1030, 1. The thing that you'll hear about him is that he doesn't take his walks. So he has no walks through 10 games right now. In 281 professional games, he has 62 walks ever.
Seriously?
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It depends on all the other numbers, but as long as his on-base percentage is fine, then I guess walks just keep hitting. I love hits. How do you feel about that?
Well, Albert Pujols doesn't feel great about it because he's hitting 174 with 4 singles and no extra base hits in 6 games.
What is he doing, do we think? Is he just trying to stay? He's like
trying to feel young again.
No, I'm not talking. I think it's great that he's over there, but what is the point? Is he just trying to stay ready to try and get a job next year? Because he was great against lefties for the Dodgers when he went there.
Yeah.
But it's a tough sell for all other aspects.
Before he left for the Dominican, he said that he's not ready to be done yet. So
yeah, I read that too. But I wasn't either. But sometimes it's not our choice. And unfortunately, I'd hate to see that be the end of our Pujols, him still trying to play and not being able to get a job. Like,
Albert. That's
what I'm saying. Like, it just, I don't know. He still got knocks in the world in the championship series. So it's who am I to say that he shouldn't keep trying? I just think that the team that takes a chance on him would be doing it for reasons other than wanting to win, which is fine too, because not everyone wants to win. We all know that.
You mean like to have him in the clubhouse just for young guys to be around? Yeah. Yeah,
which I'm sure I don't know what the impact was in the Dodgers clubhouse.
Sure, it was great. Did you not see how he and Cody Bellinger interacted in the dugout and stuff? Those are the kind of guys that, I mean, obviously Cody Bellinger is a guy and has an MVP, but you want that guy to be the core of your team for a long time. And that's what Albert Pujols can teach him.
It's also hard to tell
how genuine they were.
I don't question how genuine it was, but I just feel like unless you're in the clubhouse, you see a lot of things that happen in the dugout that would never happen in the clubhouse because it's all, the cameras are on or whatever, there's just certain things like that. I should probably speak to someone who does know and find out what the impact was.
All right, you do that. That's your homework for the week.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love homework.
Ethan Small.
Nothing small about that.
Mm-mm. Besides his ERA. He's the Brewers' #5 prospect. 2 games, 8 innings, no runs. That's a 0 ERA.
Doesn't matter how you spin it.
Mm-mm.
If you don't give up any runs, you can't get an ERA. Speaking of ERA, Pash.
Okay, Pash. Mashed potatoes.
Maddie?
Garden.
No, that is that is how we describe French kissing in Australia.
Hate it. Don't hate it, actually. I take that back. I like Pash better than French kissing. Hate the term French kissing.
Let's have a quick Pash.
Like that more. More simple. You know? We
Yep.
love you guys. Braves in 6, baby. Trevor Plouffe. Let's
Trevor
go.
Plouffe.
Braves
Trevor
in
Plouffe.
6.
I'm surprised he didn't show up for the parade. I invited him and he didn't come.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves, every single player in that clubhouse, and Brian Snicker. Really, congratulations. Congratulations to Peter Moylan. Congratulations to Maddie Mass, just for
Congratulations
being
to us.
Maddie Mass.
Us.
We love you guys. Farm
love us.
on,
Come
farm
on.
often.
All the time.
We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.